I'm back here again with another foundation review. I know this has been a lot of foundation review, but as you guys can see, it's not going to be any wig reviews right now. But let's get into what we're doing today, and that is we're reviewing the new Too Faced Born This Way 24-hour matte foundation. Now, this foundation comes with some heavy claims, y'all. It's saying it's waterproof and transfer resistant and 24-hour, and it's undetectable, super long wear, oil free, oil controlling. It's just this foundation is claiming it packing a punch. So if it does everything that it says it's going to do, this might be like the best foundation ever. It might even be my new favorite, but that's if it does everything that it says. Now, just a disclaimer, we may not be able to test every single claim today because obviously we're on lockdown. I can't go anywhere. Even though I'm an essential worker, I have no place to go. Like, everywhere is closed, so there would be no point in going anywhere. So I don't know, I might just run the blow dryer over my face or something and do that and see how it works out. But we'll see how quickly I can get through these 2 videos I'm about to record, and yeah, we'll just see. So the color I got was maple, and that is the same color of the original Too Faced foundation that came out. The original one was in like a shorter, more thicker packaging. This is the original Too Faced foundation, and this is the new and improved one. So one is 24-hour, one is not. As you can see, the bottle is just changed in shape a bit. My foundation shade in this one was chestnut, and in this one I chose maple because chestnut was a little dark back then, so I went a little bit lighter. So I'm not going to compare the shades for you guys because obviously they're 2 different shades, but they kind of, in the frosted bottle, they kind of look alike, but you can still tell that this is a little bit lighter than that. So we're gonna see. And also the original one was a little bit red, so I didn't like that, and that was before they came out with the new shades, especially the chai shade that Jackie I know worked on. So yeah. Now today I wanted to use that concealer, but I am not going to because I'm doing another video which I will be showing you guys a little bit later. You'll see why I'm not going to use the matching Too Faced concealer, but this is not a review on the concealer anyway because you guys already know that I love that concealer. So we're gonna go in with the foundation. So I'm gonna remember to do one side of my face this time. Alright, so far with 2 pumps, I'm not really impressed. I'm not impressed because I can still see the dark mark on the side of my mouth. I can still see a number of imperfections showing through, and it didn't really go on as streak free as I would have expected. Like, it didn't melt right into my skin as I would hope it did. But we're gonna keep rocking with it. Alright, so on first glance, I don't know, it's still for me looking a bit too red. Like, Too Faced definitely needs to work on their golden undertones in their foundations because, yeah, no. I still don't really like the undertone of the shade, but hopefully it gets better as it stays on longer. But as of right now, yeah, y'all, I'm not too much into this, to be honest with you. Not too much into this. Like, it's not as smooth as I would have expected, and even though I put on another layer, I still see darkness peeking through, especially under my neck, on the sides of my mouth. So it's safe to say that you're still going to have to correct prior to putting on this foundation, because even under my eyes, even the dark spots under my eyes are still peeking through. So I would say definitely correct before you put on this foundation. So right now I'm just gonna go finish the rest of my face. I'm gonna do my other video with the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and we're gonna chat a little bit. Alright guys, so my full face is done now and I'm back. So we're gonna talk about this Too Faced foundation in Maple now that I have other products on and it's sat for a little while. It is currently 3:31 p.m. So let's chat. Like I said, the initial application, I'm not feeling it with my everyday brush that I use for all of my foundations. I am not feeling it. Like, it didn't, like this week, I felt like I've been spoiled with foundations, with good foundations this week, and capping off these foundation reviews with this, it was just like, yeah, it just didn't match up in application with the others. So I was a bit disappointed with that. Like, it didn't melt right away like it needed to, like it should have, like I expected it to. Like, this foundation talk, all kind of big talk, I can need it to be perfect. Like, I can't have this foundation slipping as early as on application, you feel me? So the application wasn't exactly 100% smooth. I did see some streaking, like on my forehead and stuff, and probably around by my chin, but you know, it is what it is. It could be the brush, maybe, but I doubt it, because that brush does not fail me. Okay, that does not fail me. But even if it did have streaking and it was smooth, I wouldn't have mind, because I could have easily blended that out with my sponge. But yeah, it just wasn't smooth and it had a little bit of streaking on top of that, so I didn't really like that off the bat. Secondly, it does not give me the coverage that I would have expected. Like, that was not medium coverage, because as you can see, even still right now, you can see my darkness peeking through around my mouth. And in certain areas, you can still see my dark spots. So I don't like that. It wasn't medium coverage in that regard. And I was actually scared to build it up any further, because I feel like at that moment, it was going to start getting cakey. So, yeah, for problem skin, this probably isn't going to be the coverage that you desire. You're definitely going to have to color correct prior to putting this foundation on, which is kind of sad, because, you know, that's an entire extra step for a foundation that claims it can do so much. But so far, so good. It is agreeing with the other products that I have on my face for the most part. I do have on a melt concealer and some melt contour, and also a Juvia's Place highlighter. So it seems to be playing well with those products so far. I don't see any, you know, separating from the different products, so that is also good. I also noticed that this foundation kind of clings to dry patches, so if you do have dry skin, this probably won't be for you either. Immediately when I applied it, I saw the foundation clinging to the dry patches on my nose, so I didn't like that either. So this foundation is already starting off with like 3 strikes against it already. However, I do know that sometimes we have seen ourselves together that sometimes foundations do get better as time goes along. So I am going to still give it its rightful chance. And I'm going to go eat in a few minutes. And I'm also going to, you know, walk around the house a bit, go outside, see how it looks in natural light. See if I can get myself to sweat a bit to see if it's really, you know, sweat proof and waterproof and all of that. So yeah. This is how I'm looking at the start. So we'll be back, you know, for some check-ins in a little bit. All right, guys, so time for our first check-in. It's currently 6:07 p.m. So we're just going to check out the foundation, see how it's been holding up, and how my face is doing generally. Right off the bat, I can see where some of my oils are now pushing through, particularly here in my T-zone. Yeah, particularly right in here, because I put highlighter there, so I think that's just my highlighter reflecting and bouncing off the light. But right here, definitely, I see just a little bit of oil starting to peek through. It has only been about 3 hours, so for a 24-hour foundation, that's kind of a little scary. But I was about to sweat if I didn't come in here, and I was just sitting still, y'all. Like, I just don't understand why I gotta be so hot. Like, it should not be this humid, just sitting still. Like, sitting still, you probably are still liable to sweat. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We're just gonna do a first blot test to really see if that is what's going on, if I'm having some sweating. So I'm just gonna turn to the clean side of this paper here. We're gonna start there, but off the bat on my chin, I didn't get anything. So this foundation might be on to something, y'all, about not being transfer proof. So we're gonna dab there, gonna dab here. So barely anything. This is probably my powder. You're seeing the powder and maybe some concealer or highlighter and stuff, but where I have foundation pretty much only, I'm not getting anything. So, wow. Yeah, nothing additional came out on the paper. So far, the foundation is going okay. I didn't really have to blot just now. I don't think it made that much of a difference, but I just wanted to see, with me starting to get, hot internally and about to break a sweat, to see if the foundation still maintained its integrity of not being transfer proof and not trying to crease up or anything. But so far it's doing okay. It's doing okay. Am I more satisfied with the look? It did start to look more natural as my oils came into play. But yeah, application is really a big deal for me when it comes to wearing foundations, because if I don't like how it looks going on, then that just really messes with my mood. Like, I don't like that. But like I said, we're gonna give this foundation a fair shot, but so far it's going okay. It's going pretty okay. So I'm gonna come back a little later tonight and we're gonna have a chat about this foundation a little bit more. Whew. Okay, y'all, I have had it out there. Okay, I have had it. I cannot take it anymore. It's too hot out there. Like, I need to shower again, like, honestly. But it is currently 8:28 p.m. and I'm so tired, and I have work in the morning very, very early. So we've had this foundation on for 5 hours already. Now, if you guys want me to, I will do another part to it, or a follow-up to see how it works like in the real world. But for right now, I have been sweating. My sweat has dried. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to, once again, take the clean side of my paper towel and we're going to blot everywhere that is oily. As you can see, it's right here up in my T-zone again. So we're going to blot there, blot there. Gonna go over the forehead a little bit and the chin. I did notice that in the nose area I did get some foundation, but this very well could be my powder as well, because like I told you, the foundation is supposed to be sweat proof and it's supposed to be non-transferable, but the powder and other products that I use are not. So it could be that, but I don't know. Now let's look a little bit closer. I do see that around the sides of my mouth, the foundation has definitely separated. I do have some cracking here in my smile lines. I have some cracking around my nose. The concealer, well, this is a different concealer, but that did not last under my eyes at all. Yeah, so for a 24-hour foundation, and on the 5th hour it's already cracking up around my smile lines where foundation doesn't usually really crack. That's kind of, yeah, I don't know about that. Just after a little bit of humidity, some foundation is missing from off of my nose as well. Yeah, guys, I don't think this foundation played too well with my skin, to be honest. Like, I actually think I liked the old formula a lot better than this one, because I actually did like the old formula. It was just that the color was just off at the time, and it had much more coverage. Like straight out the bat, it had more coverage. I will link that video down below too as well. But this Too Faced 24 hour, yeah, this isn't cutting it for me, to be honest. It really isn't. Like, I'm not even trying to be harsh on Too Faced, but this one isn't it. This one isn't working at all. Like, it did work well with other products, like my concealer. Like, there's no separation in between the blend of the products, but yeah, the smile lines, there's some bunching up in my hair and around my mouth. Yeah, the sticking to my dry patches and all of that. On top of that, the application that wasn't, you know, the best. I'm not liking it, guys. This one isn't for me. This one isn't doing what it needs to do on my skin. Now, granted, I'm not saying this is a terrible foundation or that you guys may not like it, but it's just my preference. I don't like it. It's not working for me on my skin. I tried, I really did, but after 5 hours and I'm feeling like this for a 24-hour foundation, that really doesn't look good. So in this climate, in this hot, humid, tropical, Bahamian climate, I don't think this will last 24 hours at all. Not one bit. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.